have seen Anduin being turned into a weapon and acquiring the key from the Archon. The jailer said 3 keys remain. Well, we suspiciously enough easily freed exactly 3 people from Torghast: Baine, Jaina, and Thrall, and this got a huge avalanche of speculations that what if we didn't free these guys at all and there are just 3 other vessels that will provide the 3 remaining keys? Could there be merit to this theory? Brought to you by Gamivo.com. Make sure to click the link in the description and get Shadowlands as well as game time at discounted prices. So, turns out that Blizzard did actually confirm what keys the jailer needs in an interview that kinda went under the radar. Apparently, he already has the Antidote's key, so what he needs now is the key from the Winter Queen, the missing Primus, and the Arbiter, which, as we all know, is the final key. We still don't know what Zovaal's ultimate goal is, but it also doesn't seem like he needs all of the keys in order to do something, as even a single key can play a role, a quite significant one as well. This is evident by the fact that he used the one provided by Anduin in order to unlock Cortia, which seems to be related to the first ones, saying that it holds many of their ancient secrets. Well, in regards to Anduin, we know he used him as a vessel in order to trick the Archon and Bastion. However, as Anduin was now revealed to be working for the jailer and I'm guessing the word got around, I doubt the Winter Queen is going to have an audience with him or that they will just let him approach the Arbiter. Additionally, I also don't believe that we will just get 1 key per patch, as that would, by the end we will have like 8 patches. It makes sense that in 9.2 all the keys will be taken, aside from maybe the Arbiter. Then in the other 2 we could face the jailer or whatever else is coming. These facts got people thinking, and I gotta say that these theories do actually make a lot of sense. So, remember how the jailer kidnapped 4 people? Very specific ones as well, and there are 4 covenants that he needs 4 keys from. Do you also remember how he freed Thrall, Baine, and Jaina quite easily? In fact, too easily. This definitely got me wondering at the time if the jailer really prized them so much that he went out of his way to pick them up from Azeroth. Wouldn't he place them in his personal chamber akin to Anduin and we wouldn't be able to just come into Torghast and steal them while he's not looking? What if Zovaal wanted us to steal them and in fact they're all vessels that are yet to be activated? I gotta admit, this all really seems entirely possible. Baine and Jaina are not really as concrete, but seriously the Thrall one makes a lot of sense. Let's look at it this way. As Blizzard said, the jailer doesn't have the key from the Primus, the leader of Maldraxxus. Primus is missing and no one really knows where he is. There is a big theory that has been going around for ages now that he's the rune carver and that he purposely wiped out his memory and hid the key so that the jailer could never extract information. Now, here comes in Draka. She's one of the key figures of Maldraxxus that is tied to Primus, so what if she holds the key, or what if she knows where it is? Now, I gotta admit from the start, I really wondered why did Blizzard, out of all of the characters in the Warcraft universe, decide to add Draka. Draka, as you might know, is the mother of Thrall that was assassinated when he was a baby, but she was never really a major character in Warcraft history, mainly just a footnote as the mother to the creator of the new horde, Thrall. I'm guessing you can see where I'm kinda going with this here. Draka could have the key from the Primus or know where it is, and the jailer just randomly decided to kidnap out of all of the people in the entire universe her son from Azeroth that she died protecting. What if Thrall is also a vessel that was corrupted by Zovaal and he plans to exploit the mother-son relationship in order to acquire Primus's key? I gotta admit, this definitely sounds plausible. Now, in regards to the other 2 characters, I can't really say that it is too clear. I'm guessing Baine could be related to Ardenweald because, after all, you know, Tauren and Druid connection. Additionally, Vol'jin and Baine are kinda close, and Vol'jin was granted a special audience and to essentially become a wild seed by the Winter Queen. So, just like how Anduin, due to his just nature, was allowed into Bastion, I'm guessing Baine could definitely be allowed to meet the Winter Queen. However, I gotta admit with Jaina, I can't really seem to make a solid connection here as to why she would be related to the Arbiter in any way. The only reasonable thing to me seems to be the fact that she's a very powerful mage, so she might be able to convince that she could get the Arbiter back in the running and that then she could steal the key, but it doesn't really seem all that reasonable, to be honest. It is also possible that Bolvar could get corrupted, and we know that the guys that run Oribos definitely trust him. He was one of the first ones that got there. We already had a glimpse of the jailer very briefly taking control of Bolvar. If he gets more keys and gets even more powerful, I think him getting a more permanent control over Bolvar is entirely possible. What also adds to this theory is that first meeting we've seen between Sylvanas and Anduin. When Anduin asked, "Where are the others? Are they safe?" Sylvanas responded, "Safe? I wouldn't say any of them are safe." This could definitely imply that none of us are safe, as once the jailer gets free, we will all be in danger, but it could also mean something for these three characters that we get freed from Torghast, as in they're all the jailer's vessels ready to be used later down the line. Now, in an interview, Blizzard specifically said that Bolvar, Thrall, and Jaina will see some action in Chains of Domination, and that we will see them fighting in different places as they can't wait on the sidelines. This could go against this theory, but it could also mean that they might want to get more of our trust so that they can later be used. Overall, this theory is definitely in the wild speculation territory, but I gotta admit that it definitely makes a lot of sense and I could see it happening. 3 keys remain, 3 characters that we freed. Since I doubt the jailer will be getting 1 key per patch, I think it is very highly likely that if this is the case, they could all be activated at once and then the jailer might finally be able to reach his ultimate goal. Thank you for watching. Check out if 9.1 will be the end of Sylvanas, and also check out Doran's Academy for videos on real-world history and science. See you next time.